What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Blanche and I'm getting those warm and cozy vibes right now. It's raining outside. Doesn't rain that often here in California, but it never fails. Every time this time of year, I get the hankering for warm roasted potatoes. You know, where they're crispy and crunchy on the outside and soft and creamy on the inside. Now, there is a method to getting perfect roast potatoes every time, and I'm gonna share those tips with you right here on this show, along with some fair trade gift ideas that'll really be meaningful for the holidays this season. This is a show you don't wanna miss right here on Feast in the Middle East. Okay, so what's my favorite potato for roasting? The Yukon Gold. Why? Many reasons why. Let's start with the waxiness. The waxiness of this potato allows it to hold its shape while cooking. Also, what's great about these potatoes is that there's enough starch so that the interior develops that creamy, buttery, luxurious texture that we love. And the outside is perfect for developing that caramelization so that it's nice and crispy on the outside. Another benefit to Yukon Golds is they all have roughly the same shape, which means they roast at the same rate, so you have a uniform taste and texture. You won't get one potato that's delicious and another one that's barely cooked. This is really nice. Consistency is key with the perfect roast potatoes. Plus, a big bonus is they're cheap. I bought a big 3-pound bag for $5, organic Yukon Gold potatoes, and you can find them anywhere. You don't have to go to a special fancy schmancy farmer's market to get these potatoes. Now, you don't need much to make roast potatoes taste great. You need some herbs, quality herbs. Now, I prefer thyme over rosemary. I feel like rosemary can be a bit overpowering. Of course, copious amounts of garlic, and it's important to cook them on the side, not in the oven. Some people make the mistake in taking the garlic and roasting it in the oven with the potatoes, and all you're gonna get is burnt garlic. Don't wanna do that. Now, olive oil. I love roasting with olive oil, and it really depends on what olive oil you use. Make sure it's a high quality one. I have a video from before that went pretty viral on how to choose the proper olive oil, but I got lucky because this month's subscription box with the PAL box, I got a gorgeous olive oil that I'm going to be using. I'm going to talk about this PAL box after we roast the potatoes. And alongside of that, another fantastic ingredient that I'm going to add to the potatoes as a finishing touch is Za'atar. I also have a video on Za'atar. You can just check out my info card on that if you want to learn more, but it's basically a spice mix made with thyme, sumac, and sesame seeds, and it makes a great finishing touch to roast potatoes. So are you ready? Let's get to the kitchen, and I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect roast potatoes. All right, first I peel all of the potatoes. This is totally not necessary if you like the skin, but I find by peeling the skin, I get that extra caramelization. Now, to a large pot of water, I add a half a teaspoon of baking soda and salt. I added the baking soda to the water because it's going to create a more alkaline environment so that the potatoes will further break down, which will create a very crispy exterior. Then I'm going to place all the potatoes in here and boil it for about 10 minutes before we put it in the oven. That will ensure that the interior is creamy once it's cooked. All right, now for the aromatics, I have about 6 cloves of garlic here. Now, if you're really garlic happy, of course, feel free to add more. So, as I said before, we are not going to roast the garlic in the oven with the potatoes. We're going to create a garlic oil. And to that, I'm going to add this fresh thyme over here. You can use rosemary if you prefer, but I really love thyme. All right, my favorite part, the beautiful extra virgin olive oil from the PAL box I'm adding here to saute the garlic with for 1 to 2 minutes. Now, people that don't like to roast or cook with olive oil are gonna get triggered, but that's okay, I could live with that. This olive oil is going to make the potatoes, so trust me, this is a step you have to take. I used about a 1/4 cup here, add more or less depending on your preference. All right, now that the parboiled potatoes are ready, I'm going to put them into a bowl. What you want to do is cut each potato into 4ths because that's going to increase the surface area of the potatoes to make them even that much more crispy. And grab a sieve. What you're going to do is pour that garlic oil into the sieve to coat all of the potatoes. Hold on to that garlic and thyme. Do not throw it away because we're going to add it to the potatoes after they're roasted. But essentially what you've created is a beautiful oil to roast the potatoes in. As you can see, I used a foil-lined platter, but you can also use a silicone mat to roast the potatoes with. Just make sure that the potatoes aren't touching each other or too close to each other, because that will ensure that they turn out crispy instead of steamed. As for seasoning, it's very simple. All I add is salt and pepper. Put it in the oven at 450 degrees for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm going to pull the platter out of the oven, make sure to flip the potatoes around a bit, and put it in the oven for another 15 minutes, again at 450 degrees. Now keep an eye on the potatoes, especially at the end, because the temperatures can vary from stove to stove. Essentially, you want them creamy on the inside and golden brown on the outside. Now we have the garlic and thyme that we reserved from the oil before. We're going to blend that with the potatoes while it's warm, because that's going to bring out the flavor and the aroma of the garlic that much more. And for a surprise finish, I have that Za'atar spice blend from the PAL box, and I'm going to sprinkle a bit of that over the potatoes while they're warm, and that's going to further bring out the aroma of the Za'atar. And I think all of these flavors blend really harmoniously. Okay guys, I've been waiting to eat this. Gosh, this looks so good. I'm gonna get like the most brown one there is. There we go. You see that bite? Look at that. Look at that beautiful caramelization. It's crunchy and crackly, and the inside is creamy and buttery. This is like potato crack. This is so good. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Feel free to add some feta cheese on top. I was going to do that, but I didn't have any, I ran out. But feta cheese, Parmesan cheese, you eat potato for a meal, that's how good it is. Like, I don't eat this, instead of being a side dish, I want this to be my main dish. Okay, now that I got my potato craving out of the way, let's talk about Christmas gifts. Now, I talked about the PAL box earlier. Let's talk about fair trade and the importance of shopping fair trade. When you shop fair trade versus getting big box store items from Amazon or Costco or those places, you actually support very hardworking independent families that could use the money so much more. Plus, fair trade items ensure that those families get a fair wage and that their practices, whether farming or textile or whatever, is environmentally sound. When you get a box like this, it's truly the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, this is what the holiday is all about, is to also help those that might need it the most. And so this benefits fair trade farmers in, so other than the olive oil and the za'atar, they also have beauty products for the ones that love beauty in your life. Here I have Dead Sea salts. Now this is by Dead Sea Pearls. It smells of lavender. There's so many medicinal properties to the Dead Sea salts because it is like the deepest sea in the world, and it has the most nutrient-dense salt in the world. The salts here are no joke. They're full of potassium and magnesium and calcium, and so using these just takes the beauty routine to another level. Another cool gift, what makes this box swanky, is that it often has handmade jewelry. Katie Miranda never disappoints. She's an incredible artist. And she made these earrings. These are silver earrings, guys. These are made of silver. And look at the detail. And in Arabic, it says on the bottom. So I can't use that word on my channel too often because for some reason they censor it, but that doesn't mean I don't want to support the people of this country. It's not going to stop me. So I love these earrings. I mean, as you can see, if I kind of put them here so you get an idea. Last time she had a necklace that went with these earrings. So if you gather enough of these PAL boxes, you could have like a whole beautiful set of jewelry that matches. This spatula speaks to my heart. Look at this spatula. You see that? It's made with olive wood, so it has the dramatic contrast of light and dark wood colors. Now, this is from Bethlehem. This is where my mom is from. You know, the little town of Bethlehem where Jesus is born. That's pretty cool to get a spatula from the place where Jesus was born for Christmas. Now, let me tell you something about olive wood. Artisans have been making things like this with our olive wood for hundreds of years, and they are in danger of losing so much revenue because they're unable to see tourists, especially this time of year. And so this is a great way to support them. And what's great about olive wood is it's extra dense, which makes it stain resistant and odor resistant, which I really love when cooking. So very sturdy, and I think this would last you a very long time. So this is great for you or the foodie in your life. I didn't think I was gonna show you all this stuff without offering you guys a discount, right? I get nothing from this. This is just strictly because I love fair trade items. I love supporting people in need at Christmas time and any other time of year. So if you order this box now, you can get 10% off. Just use promo code BLANCHE10. As an aside, if you want to treat the foodie in your life, check out my cookbook, Feast in the Middle East, over 200 pages of authentic recipes and glossy photos and stories about my childhood and my family. That hopefully will touch you all. You can get that order information at feastinthemiddleeast.com. Thanks for watching. Of course, I have more holiday ideas to come. And if you have any comments or suggestions on what you'd like to see in 2021, please leave them in the comments below, all right? Until next time, I'm going to eat as much of these potatoes as I possibly can before everyone comes home.